Good. Coming back to center, little hands in the hips, little rock side to side. And taking the first few moments just to try to warm up the belly and the abdomen. Let the mind be calm through the breath. We'll add a gentle twist. So just twisting to the right, hand on the knee. Just push down, lift the chest, and just try to take a few more of those deep inhales. Again, just trying to breathe and keep the tension on the breath as deep as you can breathe. Breathing so deep you might sense or feel the stretch along the belly, maybe up into the chest and the upper body. One more breath. And we'll switch the sides, same idea. Just try to push down into the knee a little bit, try to lift the chest up a little bit, and take a deep breath in. And center. Little hands in the hips again, just a little rock side to side. And just open up the sides of the body again. So we'll have the right hand touch the floor. And the other arm goes up and over. Just reach up. All you gotta do is reach up and reach and breathe. And think about the arm reaching up to the ceiling, so you get the side ribs to open. If you take that deep inhale, getting that deep stretch. One more breath. And lower down. Other side. Same idea, just reach straight up. Deeper breath in. And ready? Center. Hands and hips. One more rock forward and back into the pelvis. Side to side. Maybe you're able to do some circles into the hips. And one more center. Maybe pushing down into the hips or pushing down to the knees just to try to lift. And another 30-40 seconds of just deep breathing. Two more deep breaths in. All right. When you're ready. So, if you've never done it before, if the last few moments were uncomfortable, you're welcome to lie down. You're also welcome to take one of these other cushion mat things and just put them under your bum and sit on top of that. Because that'll help you sit up kind of like with the other thing. You're also welcome to lie down, doesn't matter. We'll do this about 3 times, so you'll find out which one works best. If you choose to lie down, I'd recommend keeping your knees bent, your feet a little wide, and your knees touching. It just helps to relax the pelvis a little bit. Now, if you notice, you're welcome to close the eyes and just follow along as we breathe here, and I give instruction. If you bring your attention to the chest, and you could feel something in your heart center just below the sternum, just below the center of the chest. And maybe you don't need to put your hand there, but if it's helpful or it's calming to put your hand right there in your center of your chest, you're welcome to do that. And to begin the meditation, again, just try to focus in on the breath, and also bring in the tension to that heart-centered space, that space underneath the breastbone. Center of the chest, underneath the sternum. And as you breathe in, as we were doing a few moments ago, see if you can notice you can breathe as if it's coming from that space in the chest, from the heart. As you breathe in ever so deeper, it might become more clear how you can breathe from the heart-centered space. And as you breathe, what you might notice is that there might be a warmth, a physical sensation of warmth, or physical or emotional sensation of expansion, of calmness, maybe an emotion of love, or an image of someone or something that you love. It doesn't matter what arises or what comes. It matters that with each breath, you might be able to make it grow. And with each breath, you try to breathe in a little bit deeper. And if your mind wanders, just bring your attention back to the heart-centered space, breathing from that space. Just continue to breathe and see if you could expand it, grow it, reorient to that space in the heart. You might be able to bring a thought of someone you love into the space. The space might grow through the chest or into the throat or into the belly. As we come to about 5 minutes, you can bring your knees to your chest and just a little rock or two side to side. Wake yourself up. And when you're ready, we come sit up, reset, and let the dog out.
What? Isn't it weird how you can wear different things in the office when you're doing that? Keep going, yeah, sorry.
Oh, of course. So just checking in, what was that like?
It was very good. Oh. Come be down. Oliver. Go downstairs. Christina, can you call Bo? I don't want to do that. He really does.
Hey, I like this.
Lay down.
Just wants to be near mom.
Lay down. Lay down. Stay.
Nope. Gotta do other things. Just wants to be closer. You can never like
He's like, can I just be on top of you? Can I be one with you? Or you. Well, if you hump me, I'm going to be very upset.
Okay, lay down. Listen. Lay down. Alicia, can you call Bo? Go see Alicia. Okay.
Alright. How was that for you?
Good.
Awesome.
It was, very good. It was weird because I felt like I couldn't support my arm. Like when I'm touching my chest and my arm is floating. Is yours touching the ground?
Yes, I had one touching the ground and one.
But was this arm touching the ground? Like I was just super conscious that this arm was having to work.
And the other one wasn't?
And the other one was very relaxed. I do feel that is such a good exercise too for sleep. It's very, very, very relaxing. That deep breathing.
I definitely, if we would have been there for 5 more minutes, I could have totally fallen asleep.
Yeah,
I was ready.
So that'll happen. I mean, once your body starts to go into a meditative state, the part of the nervous system that tells you to sleep will turn on. But you got to find that fine line because that's what you're supposed to do. The basic explanation of that. One of the things here is how do I explain this? There's neurons, right? Like our brains have neurons. So our heart has the second most amount of neurons in the body. So like we have brain cells in our heart or in and around it that surround the heart, right? It's like 500,000 or something like that. I forget the number. Not compared to like the 2-3 trillion in our brain, but it's a bunch. So there's nerve cells that cover the heart, or the brain cells that cover the heart. and there is a feedback loop between the heart and the brain. Like there's brain cells around the heart connected to the spinal cord and it goes up, right? So there's a constant feedback loop, and there's a debate about what direction the signals are going. Are the signals going from the brain to the heart? There's a bunch of people who say the way that everything is wired, it's only a one-way signal from the heart to the brain. So it's like your heart can tell your brain information, but your brain can't tell your heart information, like that, right? So these meditations are designed to help you pay attention to that thing, which is the idea of if your heart speaks louder, and this is metaphorical, if your heart speaks louder, or you notice this breath or expansion or whatever the emotion is, that it's telling your brain information like, oh, be more loving, be more this, have more this, whatever it is, right? And the experience is like a muscle, and like the heart's like a muscle. So you do it often, it grows more and more and more. For example, right now, these meditations that we're covering are the only meditations I mainly do anymore, these kinds of heart-based meditations, because it's just what works right now for me. But the idea and the experience for me is that for a moment they'll be like, oh, and then it goes away. But then it keeps growing and growing and growing and growing, because there's a warmth that just keeps growing and growing and growing. And everyone describes it a little bit differently. Sometimes it's warm, sometimes it's like you think of someone you love, and it's just a very concrete sort of experience, if that makes sense. Like when you hold a baby, and it's a very concrete love that just can't be broken. Does that make sense? And it could be like that in your heart, and you just develop that, because when you think about holding a baby and that concrete feeling, it's a very joyous experience, and you could take that experience and grow it and keep it with you throughout the day is the idea, because the more you become aware of that experience, the more you're able to carry it with you in your waking life or in your non-meditative state. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And if you find it very noticeable and comfortable, then it's something that you can continue to pay attention to and carry with you. If that makes sense, right? I'm getting ahead now. It's cool beans. So let's do it again. And if it wasn't unclear before, you could do the same thing. We'll lie down. You could think of someone you love, like a baby or a husband or a parent, and see if that helps to bring that solidness of the experience. And then see if you can breathe into the solidness of that emotion or experience in the heart center, and see if it grows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It takes time. But the point is to notice it, that it's there, and that you can definitely have this experience of like, wow, I'm really bonded to this thing that's existing even though I'm not holding a baby, and see if you can maintain it. Make sense? So let's lie down and do it again. So again, just take a moment or two. You can put your hand on your heart. You don't have to put your hand on your heart. But taking about 6-7 minutes of just breathing. Again, if it's helpful, you could think of that person, individual, or thing that might resonate with a strong emotional center, strong emotional connection. And typically it exists in the heart space. And as the mind wanders, just try to come back to anything that reminds you of your heart space, the space around the heart. The quality of the heart. And all at the same time, as you breathe in, see if the quality is increased, or expanded, or more clear, or brighter, calmer, deeper. Use the breath to make it more alive. as you breathe, see if you can grow that sensation, experience that feeling. And slow. When you're ready, bring the knees back to the chest. Rock a little side to side. We'll do a full body stretch, so you could exhale the head to the knees. Try to hug and squeeze everything in. Just make a tight little human ball. Just squeeze every muscle you have, and then maybe extend the arms and legs above the head. Interlace the fingers, point the toes, whatever works. Just try to stretch and reach yourself. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And when ready, come sit up again. Any easier, any different? Any just, okay, I'm just sitting there and falling asleep. Either way, it's
Better.
okay.
I was more dialed in on that one, and I actually felt not warmth, but more like color, kind of a feeling of color. And then the second half, I was chasing tension in different parts of my body. My forehead was tight, and my knee was tight, and then my jaw was tight, and so it became more difficult
I get that.
to stay focused.
Yeah.
And I would get one relax, and then this would be, there was tension, it's just moving.
Yeah. I mean, your body. So when the body gets relaxed, you notice all that tension.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would relax one part so it would just move.
Yeah, that's normal. You'll keep chasing that until it's either all worked out or you just stop paying attention to it.
Right.
So it's tough.
You can let that dog go.
He's downstairs.
Okay. Oh, but does he have a leash?
He has Bosco's leash.
Okay, thank you, dear.
All right. We have 10 minutes till top of the hour. I was either gonna we could either do another one for 5 minutes, or we just do some simple yoga poses. I was gonna give you that option. If you want me to choose, I say do the other 5 minutes of meditation.
We'll do that,
Right.
I think.
Look what I got. Pot?
What is this, sweetheart? We're gonna do yoga pose now. You can lay on me if you want. You can be my heart.
So when we're ready, we'll lie back down. We'll actually just do some hip openers. So we'll bend the knees again. We'll try to widen the feet.
He's okay, Evan.
No.
I mean, you probably don't think so, but
Nice.
I know he's annoying. Okay, hold on.